All right, guys. Rant Roller back at you, man. You know how I do it for right now, man. Just temporarily, but you know this is one of my bootleg videos, but it's an important video, baby. Once and for all, I'm going to proclaim Michael Jordan as the GOAT. And backing up my point and co-starring in this matter is the great YouTuber Jxmy Highroller. Okay, once again, I'm basing my video analysis of Mike and my proclamation as him as the GOAT based upon one of the latest videos Jimmy put out about what the Bulls documentary or what the Last Dance documentary didn't include about the great one, Michael Jordan. Now, I have a video, Larry Bird Reverse Discrimination. I have several other basketball videos about Tracy McGrady, Scottie Pippen, Tom Chambers, and the like. I even had one on Karl Malone, but I took it down because it just wasn't up to par visually. Even though a lot of the things I said in there were spot on, the visuals weren't correct. With this, I'm going to try to give you a combination of both. And a lot of you guys that have chimed in on my Larry Bird series took the opportunity to slam LeBron, slam a whole bunch of other players to upgrade Bird as the GOAT. And that wasn't my intention in the video. I said Bird belongs in the GOAT discussion. I never claimed that Larry Bird was the GOAT, although he's very close. And he's in my all-time starting five. And in my opinion, he's the greatest small forward of all time, over LeBron, over Kevin Durant, over Dr. J, even over my man James Worthy, and, you know, Dominique Wilkins and a host of others. I would pick Bird number one as my best small forward of all time. But let's not get carried away. A lot of you guys, you know, you have, you know, racial pride, and you chimed in and tried to make your case for Larry Bird being the GOAT. And a lot of you make compelling cases and cases that I argued or debated back and forth with you about, and I enjoyed it. And you can make your case that he's the GOAT, sure. But just because you can make a case in court doesn't mean you're going to win the trial, okay? And in this case, you guys definitely not going to win the trial concerning the greatest of all time, which is clearly Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Now, in this video, I'm going to use Jxmy Highroller's excellent breakdown here to back up my point. Hopefully this goes smoothly. Let's go. I might get no monetization on this video, but I'm not making this video for money.
Iconic. Jordan's game-winning shot over Greg Elo to win a first-round matchup in the 1989 playoffs. A shot burned into all of our memories as one of MJ's early defining moments. But what some may not know is that Michael Jordan scored 40 points in this thriller. Oh, wait. Did I say score 40 points? I meant to say averaged 40 points in this series.
Okay, I have to pause this a lot because this is Jxmy Highroller's video, one of the greatest YouTubers on the planet, at my estimation. And once again, I have to give him a shout out. If you watch this, Jimmy, I watched a lot of your videos. Jimmy would run a lot of guys off of FS1 and ESPN studios with his excellent analysis, his editing. He's a one-man show. I don't know if he has people working with him or for him on his videos, but goddamn, the guy's good, man. Listen, Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, any of those guys, you know, Nick Wright, any of those guys on the major sports shows don't have nothing on this guy, Jxmy Highroller. Okay, so once again, this is Jxmy Highroller's video that I'm using, so I have to occasionally pause it and talk. I hope you guys have the patience to make it through the video. Oh, and please subscribe and like as well. It would help out my channel, Rant Roller. But this is Jxmy Highroller's video, the great YouTuber Jxmy Highroller.
For 5 straight games, MJ averaged 40 points for an entire playoff series. But then again, dominance of this caliber was nothing new to Jordan because in the season prior, he averaged over 45 points a game against the same Cavs team in the first round of the playoffs. In fact, Jordan averaged over 40 points per game for an entire playoff series on 6 separate occasions. But when you consider the fact that
Are you guys listening? He averaged over 40 points in a playoff series 6 different times from 1986 to 1990. And I know basketball is not all about scoring, but let's continue.
Mike averaged over 37 points per game in the playoffs for a 5-year stretch, this feat becomes a little easier to wrap your mind around. And with The Last Dance documentary now airing, what better time to discuss 23 facts about Michael Jordan that no one ever told you? Now, these aren't your typical MJ facts. If you're familiar with my fact videos from the past, you know
Did you see him reverse dunking over the 7'7" Manute Bol?
that I make it my mission to go out of my way to dig up some of the most fascinating, insightful, and oftentimes obscure facts I can find. This video shall be no different. Take the 1993 finals. Let's just ignore the fact that Jordan torched the Suns for 40 a game in the series because the Suns weren't the only ones getting torched. In Game 2 of this series, if you pay close attention, you will notice that MJ is noticeably darker in this game than he usually is.
You know, that was something I often wondered about. I almost thought it was the clone conspiracy. Well, wait a minute. I thought Michael Jordan was more brown skinned than actually super dark skin, but I did notice that he had different complexions throughout the years.
Well, that's because the day before this game, Jordan went out and played 2 rounds of golf in the blistering Phoenix sun. Needless to say, I don't think playing 8 hours of golf in between game days affected his play, since he proceeded to drop 55 points in the following game. Jordan fans know that while at UNC, Michael was teammates with the great James Worthy. But what some may not know is that in his last season at North Carolina, over half of his fellow Tar Heel teammates would go on to be NBA players. In his rookie season, Michael Jordan scored 2,313 points. By far, the most points scored by any rookie in modern NBA history. For comparison,
Look at this chart. His points in his rookie season were more than David Robinson's, Shaquille O'Neal's, Ron Harper, Blake Griffin, Allen Iverson, Glenn Big Dog Robinson, the great Mitch Richmond, and the underrated Terry Cummins. Let's continue.
Here is Jordan's rookie scoring total compared to the best rookie scoring seasons in modern NBA history. And here's Jordan's numbers compared to rookies from this season. There are about a dozen NBA players on record to shatter a backboard. Michael Jordan is the smallest and lightest. In a 1985 exhibition game, a 21-year-old Jordan eviscerated a backboard, leaving the scene completely unscathed while showering his opponents in shards of glass.
Oh my, did you guys see that, man? 6'6", about 195 pounds, shattering the backboard, showering his opponents with glass. It looked like a waterfall. All right, Mike just wasn't cat quick and fast. He was country strong as hell. And not all of it was natural genetics. Don't discount his hard work in the gym.
And if that wasn't impressive enough, if this guy was about 1 more foot to the right, Jordan would have most definitely jumped over him as well, which would have made this, undoubtedly, the most legendary dunk of all time. Talk about a big what if. In Michael Jordan's prolific career, he played exactly 1,212 NBA players. Of those 1,212, 310 of them never won a single game against Michael Jordan. 310. That means a quarter of the players who played against Michael in their NBA career never beat him.
Let that sink in, please.
Not even once. And of all the players Jordan faced in his career, the majority of them beat Jordan less than 3 times. For comparison, of the 1,212 opponents Mike faced, only 74 of them never lost to Mike. Some of these players include Dirk Nowitzki, Gilbert Arenas, and I'll be damned, Scottie Pippen. But nearly all the players who went undefeated against Mike did so while he played with the Wizards. On the other hand, Sherman Douglas, a 12-year NBA vet, faced off against MJ 30 times in his career and lost every single time.
I remember Sherman Douglas. He was a pretty good role player. Traditional point guard, but he was okay.
30 games, 30 L's. On the other hand, Isaiah Thomas maintains a pretty unique position in NBA history. Of all the players Jordan faced in his career, Zeke has beaten Jordan more than any other player.
Now, did you hear that? All you Larry Bird fanatics from my video, Larry Bird Reverse Discrimination. Isaiah Thomas beat Jordan the most, not Larry Bird.
Of the 65 games Isaiah went toe-to-toe with Michael, Isaiah won 36. Now, we all know that MJ was a game changer the moment he stepped into the league. But Michael was so good that after breaking his foot just 3 games into his second NBA season, Jordan still made the All-Star team. A 22-year-old second-year player who only played 3 games before the All-Star break, and he still made the All-Star team. Of course, MJ was hurt, so he was unable to play in the game.
Listen, your fans knew what they were looking at. Okay, if you want to get nostalgic, let's go back to that 85, 86 regular season. The fans knew exactly what they were looking at when they saw Michael, the GOAT.
At All-Star Weekend. Over the last half-decade, the NBA has turned into one big three-point contest. For some players, the influx in threes has been a blessing to their game. For others, not so much. Here's a chart of the top 10 scorers of the 2018-2019 NBA season. The red areas are 2-point shot attempts and the gray areas are 3-point shot attempts. You have Giannis, who prefers to take it inside, Kawhi Leonard, the mid-range sniper, Stephen Curry, who attempted more threes than twos last season, and of course you have James Harden, who attempted over 1,000 three-pointers in a single season. And then there's Michael Jordan, who in the 1987 NBA season averaged over 37 points per game and only shot 66 three-pointers the entire regular season.
Did you guys hear that? This is what he's talking about right here. If you can see my cursor, 37 points a game, all right, with the 2% of his shots or his scoring coming from the three-point shot. Do you know how good that is? All right? The man was incredible. Jxmy Highroller is incredible too, man. This guy really breaks it down.
That's less than a single three-pointer every single game, which means that season only 2% of his shots came from beyond the arc. MJ did not need a three ball to drop 40 on a man's head. In the summer of 1995, during the filming of Space Jam, Warner Brothers assembled an entire basketball gym fit with a weight room so Michael Jordan could practice during filming. During these practice sessions, Michael would invite fellow NBA players out to get some runs in. Some players, including Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, Reggie Miller, Magic Johnson, and Dennis Rodman. It wasn't until the following season that players said they wished they had never shown up for these runs, since they felt that they had only made MJ even better. Of course, that season Jordan would go on to lead the league in scoring, win league MVP, lead the Bulls to the most wins in a regular season, won a title, and won Finals MVP.
Let that sink in, man. And by the way, it wasn't just the stats that Michael put up. What gravitated people toward Mike was he was graceful as a cat, man. Smooth, almost effortless game. And he was, to the eye, the most beautiful player to watch on the court. And that's what's not said a lot. You know, watching him was like literally watching poetry in motion, a great dancer, fine art in motion. All right, the guy was just like ballet playing basketball.
Thanks, Ray.
Hey, check this out. How much money did you make before working here?
About 12K a month.
And how much do you make now?
Reggie? Now, box plus minus is an interesting stat. At face value, it doesn't seem to be very accurate or insightful. But all things considered, with a big enough sample size, it is actually a great indicator of a player's value. And let's just say Michael Jordan was very valuable, since he holds the NBA record for highest box plus minus for a career. And this includes his years with the Wizards.
Let that sink in. Look at this screen here. Look at the guys on this screen. Now, you guys that want to scream, and I love Larry Bird. It's not a Larry Bird hate video. Some of you guys on my Larry Bird reverse discrimination video took it a bit too far by proclaiming that Bird was better than Jordan and Magic. And look at this, box plus minus. Larry Bird is number 7 on the list. Now, was Larry Bird, now is this a little deceiving? Slightly. I'll take Larry Bird over James Harden. I'll take Larry Bird over David Robinson. And I'll take Larry Bird over Chris Paul. It's a push with LeBron James, but I'll give the edge to Bird over LeBron. But not over Magic sitting at number 4, and definitely not over Michael at number 1. Let's continue, please.
But the greatness does not end there. MJ also has 6 of the top 10 value over replacement seasons. He has the highest career PER in NBA history, the highest career points per game in league history, the highest career win shares per 48. In fact, when playing with the Bulls, Jordan led the league in most advanced statistical categories more often than not. Which really...
Now, this video could shut off, and it might because I'm in the mountains and sometimes the reception shuts it off while I'm filming with my phone. But I could stop the video right here, and the case is already made for him being the GOAT. But let's continue.
Is just another piece of evidence for Jordan's greatness. But one of the only knocks against MJ's game was his subpar three-point shooting. Now, he wasn't bad at shooting the long ball, but by his standards, it might have been the weakest part of his game. And yet, in 1996, Michael Jordan finished the regular season shooting 43% from downtown on 260 attempts. That is better than any single season from Reggie Miller, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Damian Lillard, James Harden, Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, Russell Westbrook, and Dwayne Wade. At the
God damn. You talking about greatness.
conclusion of his senior season in high school, Michael Jordan scored 30 points in the McDonald's All-American game, a new scoring record for the event and one that would stand for 18 years. Yet, Jordan didn't even win MVP of the game. Adrian Branch from the East and Aubrey Sherrod from the West
Who?
both won co-MVP with 24 points and 19 points respectively. And before we continue, let's learn about one of the rarest feats in NBA history: leading a team to a championship while leading the league in scoring. When you exclude Michael Jordan, here is the entire